I mean, really, no one looks at a woman over 40 anyway, so why bother? Except for, is that really true? And by the way, you look at yourself. So today we are going to be talking about personal style over 50 and really over 40. So if you're only 45, God bless you. Please stick around. I think you'll love this video. We're going to talk about how I kind of got out of a personal style rut, how I'm embracing this season of my life, my signature style years, if you will. And I'm going to give you my best tips for how to discover your own signature style at this amazing season of life. And I'm really excited to have you. Here's what I would say about fashion over 50. First of all, a lot of people think there's no such thing as fashion over 50, that somehow when you're over 50, no one cares anymore. But here's the reality, y'all. I care. I care what I look like when I look in the mirror. I care what I look like for my husband. I care how I am perceived out in the world. And I don't think just because I'm 52, I need to be relegated to the back row and stop living my best, most fabulous life. I just got back from a 7-day vacation, including a 4-night cruise. And this trip was so good for me because I really planned my fashion choices very far in advance. I'll intersperse some pictures of the different things that I wore. I purchased a few new pieces and I made sure that every time I stepped out on that ship, I felt the best that I possibly could. If you watched my menopause video, you saw that yes, I am really struggling with some self-esteem issues. It has gotten way better since I've gotten back from my trip, but I think all of us do at a certain phase of life. And I think there's sort of this underlying misogyny, that tells women of a certain age that we are no longer relevant, that we are no longer part of the conversation, that we are no longer sexy, and that it is time for us just to kind of, go away and let the younger people take center stage. And I love everybody being able to take center stage, whether you're 15, 25, 35, 45, 75, we all deserve to shine. And most importantly, we all deserve to show up in our own lives looking and feeling the best that we possibly can. And for me, fashion and style is a big part of that. So a little bit of a story time. If you go back to when I was a teenager, I adored fashion. We didn't have Teen Vogue back then, but we had 17, we had regular Vogue. In Style magazine, if I recall, had just started like in the early 80s. I would pore over these magazines, especially the fall editions. I would look at what was in, what the newest things were. I looked at fashion as truly an expression of my personality, and I spent a lot of time looking for pieces that I felt really, really good in. Now, if you go into my child rearing and career years, that all kind of took a back seat. I just didn't have time. Honestly, I could work, take care of my kids, and sleep if I was lucky. There was no time to worry about fashion. But this stage of my life, now that my kids have grown, I have found a new love and a passion for fashion and style. And I've been really hesitant to talk about it because I'm not an expert, I'm not a stylist, but I do know what I love. I know what makes me feel good. And I know that when I'm intentional about what I put on my body, it transforms the way I feel when I walk out of my own home. And to be honest with you, even when I'm in my own home, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit at the end of the video. So how do you get out of a style rut? How do you start re-embracing fashion if that's something that you want to do? Well, I think the first thing that I fell into and that a lot of us fall into is you have to accept that your body has probably changed. I've had 3 children. I've raised 3 sons, including a set of twins that were ginormous when they were born. And it took a toll on my body. I actually have things about my body that could only be repaired with surgery. I have chosen not to do that surgery. So I do have to camouflage certain things. I do have to accept that age has meant that I carry my weight in different places. Maybe my arms don't look as good as they used to. Maybe my legs don't look as good as they used to. All these things that I used to highlight, I now find myself wanting to camouflage a little bit. And let me say, if you want to wear shorts or wear sleeveless, I actually still really love like a halter neckline, please do it. Like, you do not need to feel at all like you can't because of the age that you are, but a lot of us just feel a little bit more comfortable being a little bit more covered. The other thing is, I've changed as a person. I've always had kind of a classic style that I wanted to keep modern and not trendy, certainly, but more up to date. And that hasn't really changed, but I'm finding myself taking a few more chances than I used to, and I love that. Like a perfect example of that is this little moto jacket I'm wearing. It's linen, it's from Anthropologie. I got it on clearance, so I doubt they still have it. If I can find it, I'll put it in the description box. But it's just super cute, and I absolutely love the way I feel when I put it on. But I have to accept that things that looked great on me 10 years ago may not look great on me now, and I have to take the time to figure out my own personal style for right now. That doesn't just come from ordering some stuff online. It's a lot of trial and error. Some of you may want to work with a personal stylist. You can either do that through something like Nordstrom or Stitch Fix. There are a lot of different options out there. I happen to love Trunk Club is really good, but you have to be careful. I prefer to go into Nordstrom and work with a personal stylist. They are always free, and then you can really do like give and take right there. And I've loved Stitch Fix for years, although I have found myself not doing the boxes with them. I've been doing more freestyle, so purchasing individual pieces, but there are a ton of resources online to kind of help you hone in on your individual style. And I promise you, it has changed. So embrace that your body has changed, embrace that you have changed, and let's figure out for right now, in the skin that you're in now, what do you want to wear to make yourself look and feel your best? Now, my second tip is some of you may not really know what your style is because you've really never had time to think about it. I would recommend looking at some maybe celebrities that you admire, maybe some actors that you admire. Definitely take a look maybe on Pinterest or something like that and kind of search for someone that you look at and you're like, okay, I really love her style. And I'm not saying to copy that person, but look at elements of their style that you really admire. Now, bonus, if you are Gen X and you are in your 50s like me, we have women like J-Lo that show up looking phenomenal, and her style is gorgeous, but it would not work for me. If I tried to dress like J-Lo, I would look like I was trying too hard. So I really try to be a little bit more age appropriate, and I don't have a glam squad. I don't have a personal stylist. I don't have a trainer. So I like to look to people that are a little more realistic. I would say Jennifer Garner is a great example of that. You can even look at women that are a little bit older than we are, women like, Meryl Streep and, who's the one I was thinking about the other day? Jamie Lee Curtis. Women that have really just embraced, this is my signature style. This is who I am now. I have really gotten into V-neck cashmere sweaters. And when I say cashmere, I mean really, really nice cashmere. And I only own maybe 4 of them, but in the fall, that is my look. I like to have a V-neck cashmere sweater, maybe a blazer over it with jeans, maybe some boots. And I feel like I have stepped into my own personal style. So if you feel a little lost on that, and even if you're not quite ready to take the step of like going into a place like Nordstrom and talking to a stylist, look online to kind of fashion icons that you really appreciate and figure out what is it about their style that you love. I know like Helen Mirren wore these Kariyuma tennis shoes, and I think she wore them, it was either the Oscars or something. Obviously, Helen Mirren is much older than I am, but her in her gown with her cute little tennis shoes was a fashion moment. So don't tell me that women of a certain age can't still be making splashes with fashion. Of course they can. Okay, now let's talk about hair and makeup. This is something that I'm still in process on. I just recently had bangs cut. I have them kind of swept to the side today because I'm wearing my hair super curly and it doesn't always work. But my hair has definitely changed. Maybe for you, your hair used to be straight and now it's curly. Maybe it's curly and now it's straight. Maybe you're ready to embrace maybe allowing your gray to come in. My friend Sarah just did that process where they strip all of the color out of your hair, and she is rocking the gray hair. Every time I see her, I'm like, am I ready for that yet? I'm not quite ready, but I think I might be soon. Reevaluate that. If you have a hairdresser that you love, go in and talk to them about it. Try to make your hair a statement of who you are. I am not saying it has to be the trendiest and the best, but like for me, for so many years, I fought my curly hair and I straightened it all the time. And in the last few years, I have totally embraced my wavy to curly hair. I've gotten the right products for it. I know what I like to use on it. By the way, I use all Briogeo products, not sponsored, but I love what it does for my hair. I will put some links down in the description box for you if you are a curly hair girl like I am. And I just feel myself with my curly hair. So I'm not saying that your hair has to be, you know, the latest and greatest. I'm saying, is your hairstyle reflecting how you feel? A lot of you, if you have thinning hair, that can be challenging. And I would say embrace hair pieces. Maybe you want to do wigs. Maybe I really admire Dolly Parton, and I look at how she's been wearing wigs for years. You know, there's nothing that says that we can't be playful with our style at this phase of life. So, you know, whatever it is, my friend Cindy, she has these beautiful ponytail headpieces that she wears that are just absolutely stunningly beautiful. Whatever makes you feel good in your own skin, that is the overarching thing. But what we don't want to do is look at a picture of ourselves and our hair and our makeup are still exactly the same as they were in 1995, because that really does age us. There's tons of videos online you can look at about, you know, changing the colors that you're wearing. Personally, I'm wearing a lot less makeup than I did when I was young. I find that wearing a lot of makeup at this phase of life ages me. It doesn't do me any favors. So I prefer a more natural look with my makeup. I'm actually wearing a lot more right now than I do in my daily life because the camera kind of washes everything out. But that's a really great way to look at it. Just make sure that you still are looking fresh and current. And if you're not, let's bring in some outside help. Let's watch some YouTube videos. I actually have, there's a channel that I love, Busby Style. She does a great job for women over 50, talking about hair and makeup and fashion and all of that. I will put a link to her channel right there if you want to go and check her out. She's been really influential for me as I've been on this journey. The thing that I want us to all remember is just because we are of a certain age does not mean that we can't enjoy fashion and beauty and how we look when we leave the house. I want to be seen when I am out in the world, not necessarily as a woman who is the height of fashion, but as a woman who understands who she is. We should be feeling better in our own skin now than we ever have at any period of our lives. I find that the days that I get up, even if I'm just going to be here working from home, I'm intentional with my makeup, I'm intentional with my hair, I put on something I feel really good about, I have a better day. I feel more youthful, I feel more energetic, and it really just sets the tone. So really put a lot of time and investment into yourself and how you feel. And remember, number one, it isn't true that no one looks at a woman over 40. It also isn't true that no one looks at a woman over 50, and that this can be the best and the most freeing time of your life. So go out there, find the fashion that you love, and enjoy every minute. Whatever you're doing today, I hope you're finding joy. If you haven't already subscribed, I wish you would. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye.